Okay, so I wanted to be able to explain something to everybody. I can't believe like it's 8 years into being the teaching full time as Creators Garden or whatever, and I still get emails from people like, "Do you provide services?" So no one really knows, right? So take a second to explain this to everybody. What we do and how we do it. So right now, everything is online, doing virtual programs. There's a tiered approach. So I guess maybe at the baseline level, the teachings that we provide are in the form of pre-recorded content. So I have a whole host of different programs. I have a catalog that has over 80 hours of pre-recorded content that we did last year. Whatever topic it is, from childcare, women's medicine, diabetes, chronic disease, aging, anything and everything in between. Even I'll get requests from people. And so that repertoire, that catalog is always growing. And so of pre-recorded content that people can have access to, right? That's the least expensive, lowest option, entry level way that people can access our the teachings that we provide. And if usually the way that it works, the best way, the most effective way that this has worked is the facilitator will stream one of the pre-recorded videos that I provide links for. If there's a date and time, the second that that video is over, I'll be there for a live discussion period, question and answer session, just to tidy up any kind of questions that might happen afterwards. And then sort of on top of that, we have the opportunity to be there for a live presentation followed by a discussion Q&A session. Generally, I'm only doing these if there is no pre-recorded option. So if it's a new type of program, a new question people have, a nuanced disease or issue that we want to be addressing, and so those I'll always do live. And then there's sort of the top experiences that we could provide, where they are recordings that are done specific for an organization or for a specific topic, issue, idea, whatever. Those are to be directly tailored for somebody or for something. And so, there's just really simple 1, 2, 3 ways that we're set up. The other thing that I did want to say is that for every online programming that we have or online program that we have, there are add-on options where we send my friend Matt Levac will create packages for every participant for every program that we offer, and where every participant will get a package of medicine in the mail that can be added to a gallon of hot water, and you have a gallon of tea so that your family can have some. If you're thinking about your uncle or your grandma or whatever who might enjoy this tea as well, there's going to be enough that you can sort of share it around. So for whatever program that we're having, whatever medicine that we're discussing, there is the option to be able to receive a package in the mail. He does a really good job with this. Literally probably one of the only people that I would trust to be able to be doing things properly. So but it's really neat to just get as close as you can to the actual experience of engaging with that type of medicine, and we're just doing everything that we can to be able to get you as close to that experience as possible. And Matt's doing a really, really good job getting us there. The other thing that I did want to say is obviously maybe in the future, maybe looking at the spring into the summer, the opportunity for in-person presentation or in-person work out on the land experiences. And the way that we would like to structure those, just to set everybody up, prime us all for the future, is that it would be really nice to utilize the virtual programming, utilize those pre-recorded content, the opportunity to meet virtually, and to be that primer, to be able to learn the tools that we need to be able to make those on the land experiences way more effective, way more fluid. And I've been working with hundreds of communities virtually, and who have put in the time and energy into getting that prerequisite with fairly large groups of community members and healthcare workers, so that when the time comes, and we do get to go to that community in person, we are going to be able to do things so much more effective. The other thing that I did want to say, just kind of like about the way that our online programming works, is that when we host a session, what you get are links, and those links expire. They're not going to last forever unless we're doing something specifically for your organization at that top tier level. Then everybody gets a link. Those links do eventually expire. Really, the only reason for that is because the evolution of this programming is insane. When people are purchasing pre-recorded content, I'm not doing 8 hours of streaming every day, which I've done a lot of in the past year. What I'm doing instead is learning. And the more that I learn, the closer I get to the most sincere and authentic answers as to how we can achieve health and well-being. And so another reason to prioritize pre-recorded content, though top tier programming seems to be the way to go. When we access those pre-recorded content, I get the opportunity to be able to spend weeks and weeks asking questions and getting those answered via the research that I've been doing. So, and then that also evolves the programming themselves. So I've actually have this let's take a diabetes session. The diabetes program that we have is 4 sessions. 1, we understand about diabetes. 2, 3, and 4, we learn how to heal from the damage done by diabetes. I did that program last January, recorded it. Couple communities purchased these pre-recordings, but those links expire because in March I did the session again, and I had to completely redo it, re-record everything, because the amount of time that I was able to dedicate into research allowed that program to evolve to be able to be for it to be better. And then in the summer, another iteration happened again, and in the fall, and then it got to the point where so many people were purchasing pre-recorded content that I had so much time to research that nearly every time this diabetes presentation is booked, it has evolved. The knowledge delivered in that package has evolved so much that I almost always have to do it live. Same thing with mental health and addictions as well. I almost always have to do it live because that knowledge is growing so much. That's kind of really important to consider. But yeah, like we have so much. So many things to consider when we're booking work. Now, as far as contacting myself goes, I'm pretty notorious for being very elusive in the inbox and in the replies. So I don't do that on purpose. And though I am busy, reading study after study is not technically like actually busy. Sometimes I'm out with my daughter getting some B-roll for our editing and things. But really, I had an incredible, huge issues with our email last year that spanned 3.5 months. I had no idea my emails were not being received, and got a lot of people really upset. So I mean, if you were if this was an issue that affected you, I'm so sorry. But we're pretty well back on track with a new email. Really kind of clean slate this year. It's actually really nice. Invested in a lot of technology that is making the whole editing process and recording, streaming, all of this so much more easy. So I'm pretty excited for what's going to happen this year. So so yeah, if you wanted to book work with us and bring us into your community or for your organization, for whatever the topic might end up being, if you want to be able to take a gander at the catalog of content, then shoot us an email. It'll be in the description of this, and probably share it around quite a bit so that everybody has a really clear idea. But yeah, that's pretty well all I wanted to be able to share with everybody today. Like I said, thinking about this as a primer for that in-person out on the land experience is I think is going to be really, really effective. So if you wanted this to happen in your community, just reaching out. So Just wanted to be able to share that real quick with you guys. Yeah. Chimiigwech. Bama.